Pass me not, O gentle Savior, hear my humble cry.
Is life so dear, or peace so sweet, as to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery? Forbid it. Almighty God, I know not what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty or give me death.
The first play that I wrote was called, and is called, because I still perform it, is called One Noble Journey, which is about Henry Box Brown, the slave who mailed himself from Richmond, Virginia to Philadelphia in 1849.
Many a slave chose the latter. I'm not trying to romanticize or make light of the life of one Henry Box Brown, but in the greatest honesty, I was only beaten once. From the time of my birth to this present, where I stand before y'all.
When I originally thought to write about Jackie Robinson, it was more so writing about the Negro League baseball teams. And then in researching the Negro Leagues, I was also coming across other African-American athletes who had broke the color barrier in their sports. Isaac Murphy. Isaac Murphy was a black jockey. People don't realize that there were black jockeys. Isaac Murphy won the Kentucky Derby 3 times, maybe 4 times. I also like to point out that this isn't just African-American history. This is American history. You can't unhinge one from the other.
Tim Tyson was forced to confront what James Baldwin called the realization that civilization is not destroyed by wicked people. It's not necessary that people be wicked, only that they be spineless. People right now think the white man just opened up his drugstore and said, y'all come on in now, integration done come. But every time a door opened, somebody was kicked in the butt.
Darky, the title, comes from Moses Wright. Moses Wright was Emmett Till's elderly uncle that Mamie Till entrusted Emmett with to go down to Mississippi. In court, when Roy Bryant and J.W. Milam were sitting out there, and the lawyer said, "Do you see the man who came and took your nephew that night in this courtroom?" Moses Wright did something very few, if any, African-American men had ever done in the state of Mississippi. That is, testify against the men that were sitting right in front of him.
Bo's death, for me, was a lesson in sacrifice. Sacrificing my son and the privacy of my grief. I became a living, walking wailing wall for those who had been touched by Bo's story. In retelling it, he shall live on.
The Freedom Riders were originally made up of CORE, the Congress of Racial Equality. In 1961, they tried a freedom ride. That is to say, an integrated group of whites and blacks were going to ride from the northern states into the deep south to press the interstate segregation laws. That is, the interstate segregation laws dealing with bus travel. They would ride into these stations and they would try using white waiting rooms. They would try and use whites-only restrooms. But as they got into South Carolina, they started to be beaten. Into Georgia, into Alabama, they were beaten brutally. The bus was firebombed in Anniston, Alabama, and then eventually arrived in Jackson, Mississippi. They were quickly arrested. The governor of Mississippi said, Ross Barnett, said, not even gonna deal with having them beaten in the streets of my state. I'm going to put them immediately in prison. And the prison they put them in was Parchman Penitentiary.
It has to hit me in the gut, raise the hairs on the back of my neck kind of feeling. It really has to stoke my desires to a point where I have to learn more and more and more about it. These are stories, these are oral histories, events that are being forgotten. because grandparents are becoming so elderly or passing away and not being able to pass on these stories to young people. So I have to find a way to go to them.
When I was overseas, and we had a mouthy crowd, we set that son bitch apart from all the others, and we pistol whipped him till he screamed Mother Mary. This is William Bradford Huey of Look magazine. I'm here with J.W. Miley, age
36.
and Roy Bryant Jr., age
24.
No fears, gentlemen. I'm only recording this so as to be clear of the facts. It's a tool I've come to find reliable in a pinch.
Thirsty?
Every day. I'm Henry.
Nancy.
You gonna be here tomorrow?
Maybe.
Can I walk you home? It's getting dark.
I got to finish up here.
I'll wait.
I don't know how long I'll be.
I still wait.
Can you wait over there so others can drink?
We's thirsty. I'll be over there. Wait.
Fast trains are running on the black sky.